Good morning, Greg here, burning both ends. Burning on the front end of Saturday. It's 7:07 a.m. Pacific, June 23rd, 2018, and I just love getting up early on Saturday just to bang out a little bit of work before the big family day. Weekends are big family days, and I was talking about last night being a little hungrier in some of these spots of the week where other people tend to fall off. The business radar, tend to relax a little bit, and if I can push a little harder at those times, I can get ahead. Right, everyone shows up to work Monday. Maybe it's a slow start, but they're still there. Tuesday and Wednesday, they're usually hitting it. Thursday, they begin to kind of trail. Friday can be a real crapshoot as far as people showing up to really crush it. And so I find that if of course I'm showing up when everyone else does, but on those days when I know people are starting to fall off, if I can push it and punch it right there, it's good times to get ahead, to strike, to take advantage of that, to build some leverage. And Saturday I find to be one of those days as well. Right now, Saturday and Sunday are big family days, but getting up early, getting a few hours of work in before the family gets up, after the family goes to bed. It's those little pieces that it's running that marathon. If I can take a few steps on the weekend that most people are not taking steps, I'm going to get ahead. And playing infinite game style, if I'm doing this over many years, that's going to translate to months and months and months of getting ahead. And then the key thing is that I'm doing real work as opposed to fake work. Well, I guess the fake work would be like just the busy work, as far as just work to do because I don't have clarity, I don't have organization, I don't know how to sequence, and therefore I'm just doing what's right in front of me or what's easy maybe, right? So I got to be careful about that. That's why it's important to be, as Gary Vee says, to jump from the dirt to the clouds, or in my language, hot throw and cold throw. Think about these two things, right? The hot throw, that's the trench work. That's getting down the weeds. That's the heavy lifting. The cold throw, that's the big vision. That's the big planning. And so as it translates to the success journal, which is really working, by the way, it translates, the hot throw, those are the little successes. Those are all the tasks that I'm doing. The cold throw are the success steps, the things I'm working toward, the things I'm manifesting. Very important, to jump between the two, jump back and forth with intention and not just randomly do it. But and so this weekend is a weekend to really do that. And I find that with the hot throw, with the dirt work, as we call it, that kind of builds the foundation to get up high, to do the cloud work, to do the cold throw work. And need to do both, or else it's an unbalanced kind of progression. And so this little extra work here and there, pushing harder when others are falling off. And what I mean by falling off, just like kind of taking a step back, relaxing a little bit, not pushing so hard, right? Friday afternoon, already in the weekend, Monday morning, kind of recovering from the weekend, right? That's why I love the burn at both ends, because that way Sunday and Sunday night becomes prep for Monday. So that way, maybe I bang out a little tasky things, some like administrative things. Like, for example, I got to do travel reimbursements for this I-Corps program. Just bang those out Sunday night. Kind of, little 15, 20-minute things, but 15, 20-minute things when you're like on point doing it. But Monday morning can take an hour because you're like, it's Monday, I'm just showing up, so on and so forth. So I'm really finding it advantageous with this Burn at Both Ends platform, how to get this work in and carve out time to get ahead. And I'm seeing it, opportunities are showing up, and it's really fascinating. The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind concept. This is some of the very first self-development and kind of business training I ever had. 2006. I'm going to say December 2006, and or May. I forget exactly when it was, but it was 2006. I know that. Be open to miracles and have the patience. Right, so the key things there are sending out the right vibes into the universe. Right, so this is like, this is like the self-control and understanding what I want and purpose and why and intention and all those things. Sending out the right vibes to the universe, and then being open to the universe changing and creating miracles for me. and having the patience to do that and the persistence to continue those vibes and this optimism and just this problem solving and no problem attitude and just getting into solution and putting the excuses. I don't even know what the excuses are. It's not about that. It's about progress. It's about correct and continue, right? Definitely some failures are going on, but everyone makes mistakes, and it's the more I put myself out there, the more I'm exposed to those mistakes. But at the same time, I'm more exposed to the upside, right? Only by being in the game do I have a glance at the upside, right? It's that, once again, that classic, you're going down the river, meandering down the river, and you can only see as far as the next bend. So you got to paddle up to that next bend to see what's going on. Where's the waterfall? Where's the swimming hole? Where's the fig tree? I don't know what I got. Oh yeah, we were at this amazing little aside. When we first moved to Berkeley, we lived in this house that was adjacent to the Edible Schoolyard, which is an Alice Waters concept. It's like either a really big garden or a really small farm, however you want to see it, right next to a middle school. And that was kind of like our backyard. Our house was right up against it. There was a fence there, but we could walk around the fence, and it was like our backyard. There were chickens. There's a huge garden, and they had these great fig trees. And we were there the other week, just reminiscing about living in that house. We loved that house. And my oldest daughter, who was probably like 2 and 3, actually, she grew up in that house. Left there when she was about 3, and she remembered the chickens. She remembered walking through the garden, and then there's a great park down below. Anyway, I don't know how I got on that, but oh yeah, the fig tree. That's where the fig tree came from. So, but back to this work. So this weekend we got some dirt work, we got some cloud work, or in my language, we got some hot throw, we got some cold throw work. I got a bunch of interviews to upload to Innovation Within, and then I'm also pushing some interviews on the nonprofit widget side of things, starting to learn about the industry there, and so it's all about inputting that data, so that way I can process that data, right? So the inputting the data. And there's a way in Innovation Within to highlight different parts of the interview to create hypotheses or new features for the product or new interview candidates, right? And then, you essentially then can like pull out from all the interviews here. These are all the the hypotheses. These are all the new interviews, things like that. So, and then I just continue to crush it on LinkedIn. LinkedIn DMing is producing so much results. And I'm also like the patient game. So, for example, I've been DMing some big-time CEOs, and some of them do respond, but they say, "Hey, I got no time to talk to you. Sorry about that, bro. But thanks for reaching out." And then I try to get them to to make a referral, because they love doing that, and that can be tough for them sometimes because they're so busy. But then I start, I'm following them now. Now that we're a connection, I start to see what articles they're posting, and then I can show up to them with comments, with likes. And so yesterday, one of these CEOs who doesn't have time, but I totally get it. This is not judgment at all. I get that he's busy, but I read one of the articles, one of his posts, liked it, commented with a nice, juicy comment, and he liked the comment. So I can stay kind of on his radar just with LinkedIn, just with these simple little 1 and 2 minute things. And then now, patient game, infinite game. Imagine now over the course of a year doing that. At some point in time, that's going to pay off. I'm gonna reap some rewards from that, and who knows what it's going to be. And so that's just one person. So now imagine doing that to a few dozen people. That's going to lead to some opportunity. I don't know what. And that's kind of like the thing about a lot of this work. It's like, I don't know what. All I know is that this is what an entrepreneur does. Right? An entrepreneur is optimistic, they're connecting, they're building relationships, and we have so many ways to do it now, and it's and the game's different now. I mean, it's 10 years ago, how would I have even met one of these big time CEOs? I would have had to gotten real lucky. I would have had to have connection, and now it's just a matter of literally I found this man. I was just searching LinkedIn, and there he was, dug his little summary, connected with him, explained, a little note why I was trying to connect with him. Even though he didn't have time, and he said that in his very first DM, he still made me a connection. Now that I'm a connection, now that gives me rights to do other things. And this was just a blind, cold connection. And this is that work I think that Gary Vee's talking about. If you listen to him closely, you'll hear when he was first doing a wine library, and he was first on not first doing wine library, but when he was first doing Twitter. I mean, he talks about like spending like 8 hours a day on Twitter, which I can't even imagine what you're doing. I mean, I can, but that is talk about determination. That is insane, right? Talk about an outlier, an anomaly, as he says. So when I sit there and think, okay, he's sitting there for 8 hours on his phone. Was he on his phone, or was he behind a computer? But that doesn't matter. It's like, this is the kind of work he was doing. DMs, searching people's profiles, searching people's feeds, looking for connections, looking for reasons to reach out, providing value up front, right? Because it provides the CEO value for me to like and comment on his post, right? That is something for him. It's cool for me because I learn, but it's a value add for him. And so this is, we always got to think about this. And Bonnie, who is one of my longtime business partners, she's taught me so much. I was talking to her about, meeting some kind of big time investors, and she just kept reminding me, don't forget what's in it for him or her. It's not just what I want to get out of it. It's what's in it for them. And how can I provide value to them? And so this is a way that I can provide value to a high level person, is I can be one of those people that likes and comments their feed, and I can get into discussions with them. I mean, at some point that's going to happen. They're going to start seeing me show up there. It's, so as I'm getting into this process, I'm starting to really understand how this works. And the power of it and the simplicity. I mean, it's really, I was literally on the BART train going into San Francisco. I could have just been listening to music. Actually, I was, but then I was listening to a Gary Vee podcast. And that kind of gets me thinking, okay, I'm listening to Gary Vee. He's sitting there cursing at me. Let me do something else while I'm listening to him. LinkedIn, and I see the post, and boom, a comment. And of course, it's got to be authentic. It can't just be like randomly commenting and liking things. I have to genuinely like, or else he'll see like the BS in my comment. But one of the posts was about avoiding burnout, and I definitely actually have some experience with that. I've been burnt out. I've avoided burnout. I've had training in it, so I had a very relevant comment to make, and he liked the comment. So now I'm back on his radar. And so anyway, the whole point of that little rant there was that this game that we're playing now with all these platforms, it's like a whole different kind of game to play. And a lot of people kind of trivialize like the platforms. Oh, it's LinkedIn. All I have is a network. I just click in, but it's working the platform. And I guess something that I should consider is, do I want to start posting to LinkedIn, right? I mean, I want to be careful because I don't want to have too many platforms that I try to post on, because then I'm spread too thin. So right now it's Ents, it's YouTube, and then I'm going to be rolling out, Instagram. After the I-Corps program, I still want to just give a lot of time to the I-Corps program. And also, what I'm doing for my Instagram is I'm starting to comment in there. I'm starting to get in and learn the platform. And I'm starting to, and actually since April, I've been building content. So I've been queuing up lots of pictures. I've been thinking about ideas, about videos, and about posting. So a lot going on there, like in a prep mode. So I'm psyched for that. And so right now I'm going to get into some tasky work, so I can get into some cloud work. And today's a big family day, so we got some park time with one of my younger daughter's friends. And then tomorrow, I think we got aerial practice for my older daughter. It's supposed to be a beautiful day. Actually, it's kind of warm. I opened the garage and I was expecting some cool air, and it's kind of warm, which is rare for Albany. So I think it's going to be a relatively hot day here in Albany. Typically, it doesn't get too hot, right? We get this cool breeze coming in, so it only peaks at about mid 70s, which is I lived in Florida for 2.5 years, so mid 70s is not hot to me. Even like high 70s, low 80s is not hot. And why we use Fahrenheit in this country, I still don't know. But I mean, Florida, like high 80s and 60% humidity was cool. Right? So this channel is all about the things I'm working on. That's what I'm talking about here. The things that I'm doing to move towards success. I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. This success journal is just still, crushing it. I'm really digging LinkedIn. This iCore program. I mean, there are so many things that this iCore program is opening up for me, and it's only doing that because I'm like all in the program, right? I could imagine half-assing this program, because at the end of the day, even though the instructors and the program people try to hold you accountable, I mean, I've learned that's impossible. They cannot hold me accountable. It's self-accountability. It's the only thing I can do. I mean, they can crack the whip as much as they want, but if I don't feel like doing something, there ain't no gun to my head. So it's about commitment, honoring a commitment that I made. I mean, they do a great job. They really make you commit on the front end, right? They ask you specific questions. Like, it's almost like when you're in the emergency exit row on a plane, where they tell you what you got to do, and then they say, will you do this? And you have to say yes, right? Or else they need a audible yes. It's kind of like that when before you enroll in the program, they do that with you. They get you on the phone, and you have to say yes to a couple of yes or no questions about committing to the program. Now, it's impossible, for them to hold you accountable. You can just kind of do whatever you feel like it. You can make whatever excuses you want. You can say, oh, well, my usual work is just taking me away from the program, and so therefore I can only do half of this, but I really want to commit. And I think a big piece to that was I asked my own department for some additional funding, right? Because iCore really, unfortunately, they don't really fund that. They don't provide full funding for it, especially being in California. Our hourly rates are just much higher here because it's California than, like, for example, a company maybe in the middle of the country. And so they want 3/4 of my time to do this work is what's like the recommended amount. And so I asked for some additional funding from my department, and they gave it to me. So I have an extra 50 hours a month for June, July, and August to throw at this program, and that's a huge deal, and I'm really appreciative of that. It shows that they really support me. And I've reached out to my supervisor and then also our department head to thank them for that. So and that's really letting me really kind of lean into this in a big way, and I really like that. So very cool. And it's because of that leaning in that I'm able to see a lot of these things that I would not see if I was kind of just approaching this with a kind of a more standard attitude, right? I'm really seeing this as a game to be played and won. This is this is something. I'm showing up to these webinars, I'm looking forward to showing up to graduation with like a banner like that. We crush this program, right? And it's not just number of interviews. There's a lot to be done, and I'd say number of interviews. I mean, while that's really important and that's a critical benchmark, and I know we'll hit it. It's this other stuff. It's this other stuff. Hold on a second. Hey, hold on, sweetheart. Okay, can you close the door? I'll be out in a second. Okay, thank you. That's my youngest coming in there. So she just woke up and she needs something. So what do you need? Okay, can I have 2 minutes? Yeah, I need 2 minutes. I got to finish what I'm doing. Thanks for your patience.
Is that for your
I'm making a video, so everyone's going to see this. So just give me 2 minutes and I'll come inside, okay? Thank you. All right, well, you know what? 1 minute? 1 minute? Okay, 1 minute. All right, she's giving me 1 minute. So anyway, I will wrap up right there. But it's all about just committing, and only I can hold myself accountable to it. So pretty awesome. So check out the links down below. Some motivational videos linked, some great music linked. My Afro beat in the background is linked down below. G Money is my alter ego. I write these beats. And then, the whole purpose of this channel, this is my journey, aspiring entrepreneur. These are things I'm doing. I want to hear about what you're up to. I want to connect with more entrepreneurs, more people that are, changing the game, shaking it up. So comment down below, ask questions. I'd love to help. I want to be of service. That's a big part of this. I want to be of service. And so let me help. Subscribe. Enjoy. Have a great weekend. Crush it today. Inspire people. Spend some time, with your family or your friends, but also, get ahead for next week. Do a couple of things that you normally wouldn't do to get ahead. And it doesn't just have to be office work. It could just be personal work. Maybe it's an extra exercise, or extra workout. Read a couple extra chapters in a book. Whatever it is, just do something extra. Get ahead. Get a little leverage going on. And so have a great day, and I'll see you tonight.